Students, welcome to this standard in this academic year in the subject Animal Science and Technology. This is the first lecture. It is an introductory lecture in which we are going to study the evaluation pattern for this subject and the chapters or topics which we are going to study in the syllabus. So, for this standard, you will be evaluated evaluation pattern. You will be evaluated for 100 marks. Out of these 100 marks, 70 marks will be for theory. The concerned board is going to arrange the examination, and the question paper for theory examination will be for 70 marks. In the due time, we will study the pattern of question paper and the objectives, short answer, long answer, and the different types of questions which are asked in the question paper. That pattern also we will study after completion of our syllabus. Then remaining 30 marks will be for practical. So 70 plus 30, 100. So we will be evaluated for 100 marks. Now out of these 30 marks allotted for practical, 20 marks will be for actual practical, which is to be conducted in the laboratory, and 10 marks for the project work. You will be allotted a project and you have to submit the report of that particular project. That will be for 10 marks. So this is the evaluation pattern for this year. Now, what we are going to study in the syllabus of this particular year, that we will discuss. The syllabus includes different aspects of animal husbandry. Under different specific heads, the syllabus is distributed. So we will study one by one what is the syllabus for this particular year. The first head under which the syllabus is to be studied is housing. Housing of dairy animals. This is the head under which we are going to study the different aspects, parameters related with housing of dairy animals. What we are going to study? Housing is providing shelter to the animals. Why it is necessary to provide shelter to the domestic animals? Means objectives. What are the objectives of housing? Why it is necessary to provide housing to the domestic animals or dairy animals? Then we are going to study the parameters related with selection of site. For constructing any dairy farm, we have to select a site. So there are different points which are to be taken into consideration while selecting site for a dairy farm. For example, the site should be located at an elevated place, that is called as topography or geographical status of the land. It should be located at an upper higher elevation so that the water will not stagnate and the sunlight will reach to the floor of the house, which is required for disinfection. So this is one example. So there are different parameters which are included which are to be taken into consideration while selecting the site for a dairy farm. So selection of site is another parameter under this particular head in the syllabus, housing of dairy animals. Objectives were to provide shelter to the animals, selection of site, then different types of housings. There are different systems of housings depending upon the availability of land and the requirement of the owner of the dairy farm. There are different types of housing systems. For example, free range system or loose housing system. In loose housing system, which is suitable at a place where land is available in ample quantity and at a cheaper rate, say at the village level. So, in loose housing system, the constructions are less. The land is selected, the site is selected, it is fenced, and the animals are let loose inside the campus. There is partial shelter which is provided to the animals, but complete construction of house is not there. All the animals, they are not provided with 100% shelter. So that is loose housing system. There are of course merits and demerits of each system. So that also we are going to study. Merits or demerits, or it is also called as advantages and disadvantages. That also we are going to study of each and every system of housing. So loose housing system is there, and another one is conventional housing system, in which the site is selected and a house is constructed on scientific lines for the dairy animals. Complete shelter is provided to the animals. In conventional housing system also, depending upon the arrangement of animals, there is head-to-head system and tail-to-tail system. And again, there are advantages and disadvantages of each and every system of housing. So we are going to study all these systems of housing along with their advantages, their disadvantages, and the comparative study of these different types of housing systems. So this is the first head under which the syllabus is included, housing of dairy animals. Then another one, animal farm management practices. Animal farm management practices. On any type of animal farm, the day-to-day activities, the routine activities, they are to be carried out because live animals are there and it is carried out as a business. So there is a system of working, and in that particular system there are routine practices. Routine means on day-to-day basis there are practices which are to be carried out at the farm. So which are those different management practices carried out at different animal farms, that we are going to study in this particular chapter. For example, cleaning or grooming of animals. The body coat of animal is to be cleaned. As water is not available everywhere, so bathing of animals, cleaning of animals by using water is not possible. That is why dry washing is carried out, which is called as grooming. With the help of a grooming brush, the body coat of animal is cleaned. That is called as grooming. And it is carried out with the purpose to remove the loose hairs, to remove the ectoparasites, parasites which are located over the body surface. Then to increase the blood flow towards the skin or body surface of animal. And lastly, to remove the dung and dust particles which are present over the body surface of animals. So this is a routine practice it is carried out on day-to-day basis. That is called as routine management practice. So there are many routine management practices carried out at the farm. Some are carried out daily, some are carried out periodically. For example, if it is a milking farm, dairy farm, milking of animals. This is a practice which is to be carried out daily. In the morning also, in the evening also, we have to take the milk from milking animals for marketing purpose. Now, milking of animals, though it is a very simple term, it involves many activities. For clean milk production, the animal should be cleaned before milking. Particularly the udder and teats, they should be cleaned and disinfected to avoid entry of pathogens or microorganisms into the milk, and to have a clean milk which is free from dust and dirt particles also. So this is a practice to clean the udder and teats with lukewarm water and antiseptic solution, and then drying it and then taking out the milk from the udder of milking animal. But along with this, the correct method of milking should also be applied, so that complete milk from the udder can be taken out and the animals, they will also feel comfortable. The udder and teats, they are not injured at the time of milking. So this is another routine management practice which is carried out on daily basis. So grooming daily, milking is also carried out daily. Some of the practices which are carried out periodically, say vaccination. You are hearing this particular term in today's date. For COVID infection, the vaccination program is being carried out throughout the country or throughout the world. So vaccine, it is a element which is introduced into the body of an animal or individual to produce antibodies against a particular disease. For all the diseases in animals, vaccines are not available. Vaccines are available for particular diseases, specific diseases, and there is a pattern of injecting vaccine, giving vaccine to the animal. Say at a particular age, the vaccine should be given. If you take the example of human beings, there is a disease polio. So polio vaccination, in which simply a drop of that vaccine is put into the mouth of the young one. This polio vaccine is given to the human babies up to the age group of 5 years. When the age is more than 5 years, this vaccine cannot be given to that particular individual, and it will not work also. So for giving vaccination, the important parameter is age of the animal, then season of the year. Some of the vaccines, they are injected or given to the animals in the summer season, some at the onset of rainy season, and all those. Then third parameter is booster vaccination. This also term you are being introduced in COVID-19 vaccination program. First vaccine is given at this date, and then after 28 days or 30 days, you have to take a second vaccine. Second vaccine is the booster dose. The dose of the same vaccine we are repeating, that is called as booster dose of that particular vaccine. So these particular parameters are to be taken into consideration while giving vaccination to the animals. So this particular routine management practice, though it is a routine management practice, it is carried out periodically, not on day-to-day basis. So there are different management practices, routine management practices that we are going to study one by one, along with their merits, demerits and specifications. So this is the syllabus which is covered under this particular head, animal farm management practices. This is the second one. Then the third head is care and management animal farms of different species. This particular chapter, the syllabus covered under this chapter is particularly related with the care and management of different classes of animals at different farms of different species. There are different species of animals, say cow, buffalo, sheep, goat, poultry. All these are the different species of animals, and accordingly the farms are also there. These are the species. Some of the important species of domestic animals, and enlisting here for the purpose of understanding cow, buffalo, sheep, goat and poultry. And according to the species of animal which is reared at that particular farm, the farms are also named. If the cows are or buffaloes are there and reared for milk purpose, it is called as a dairy farm. Cow dairy farm or buffalo dairy farm. Then sheep farm, goat farm, or it is also called as poultry farm. Alright. So there are different species of animals and they are maintained at the farms. Accordingly, the farms are also given with the names. Now, in each and every species of animal, there are different classes of animals. What are the classes of animals? If we take example of cow. In cow, the different classes are calf. Calf means the young one of cow. Then pregnant cow means the cow which is having a young one or fetus growing in its uterus. Okay, the uterus is having the young one of that particular cow. It is called as pregnant cow. After completion of pregnancy period, there will be delivery or parturition and the young one will be delivered outside the body. So, pregnant cow is another class. Then, milking cow. After successful completion of pregnancy period, there will be parturition, there will be birth of young one, and after that, the cow will start giving milk, secreting milk from the uterus, which is to be collected and it is to be marketed. So, such class of cows at the farm is called as milking cow. And the last one is related with male, breeding bull. Breeding bull is the male animal which contribute 50% genetic material to the next generation. Means for getting the embryo or young one, the breeding bull is used. So this is an example of a single species, a cow with 4 types of classes: calf, young one; pregnant cow having fetus in the uterus; milking cow which is in the stage of giving milk, secreting milk from udder and tubes; and breeding bull or male which is used for getting young one or getting the pregnancy. So these are the 4 classes of animals, and in each class there are different parameters which are related with care and management. So these parameters, they are broadly classified under 3 heads. One is housing, another is feeding, and third one is management. So under these three heads, the different points are covered: housing, feeding and management. For each and every class of animal, we have to take care and management, taking into consideration these three parameters. For example, housing. For each and every class of animal, different types of housings are to be provided. However, the common points are: the house should be well ventilated, means there should be proper flow of air in the house. The sunlight should reach to the floor of the house. This is about an ideal animal house, so that the ultraviolet rays they will be able to destroy the microorganisms. Then the floor of the house, it should be non-slippery. Non-slippery means the animals, when walking on the particular floor, they will not get slip and they will not get injured. So it should be made up of such type of material which is rough, which is not slippery. So these are some of the important points which are to be considered in the particular head housing. Then it is followed by feeding. For different class of animals, there is different requirement, specific requirement of different nutrients. Say, in this class of animal, calf, young one is there, which is in the stage of growing. It is in need of more amount of proteins as compared to other classes of animals. So, likewise, specific requirements are there in particular level, particular quantity, particular percentage in the diet of, in the feed of different classes of animals. That also we are going to study. But the important thing is that in broad sense we say that the animal should be provided with balanced ration. Ration means amount of feed provided to the animal in a day of 24 hours. And balanced ration means the ration which contains all the nutrients in proper quantity according to the physiological requirement of that particular class of animal. Okay, that we will study in detail while studying the aspect of feeding. And the last one is management. That we have studied. There are different routine management practices carried out at the farm. So, whichever are applicable to a particular class of animal, that we are going to carry out with that particular class of animal. So, care and management of animal farms of different species, and at the different species animal farms there are different classes of animals, and for all these classes, by taking into consideration these three parameters, housing, feeding and management, we are going to study the aspect of care and management, how to take care and how to manage the animals at the farm. Then the another heading is about animal diseases and public health. So that the remaining syllabus we will study in the next lecture, and then we will start for our learning and studying of the actual syllabus.